I try to present myself like a smart guy because I'm not a smart guy. I'm real dumb. I don't know how anything works. I don't know how the world works. And I'll just make up a story and go with that until someone corrects me, right? Here's an example. I used to think national landmark Mount Rushmore. You guys all know Mount Rushmore. You can picture it, kind of. You guys remember when we didn't all hate the president, right? We used to chisel their faces into the mountainside. Now we Photoshop their tiny dicks into memes. Respect for the office has fallen. It's plummeted. But I used to think that Mount Rushmore just looked like that on its own. I used to think that God, speaking of dumb things I used to believe in, I used to think that God so loved these United States that in a fit of patriotic pique, he made the Black Hills of South Dakota crumble and quake until everything that didn't look like a president's face just fell away. Fell away in a pile of glorious American dust. But that's not how it happened. I hate to break it to you, dreamers out there. I hate to break it to you. Mount Rushmore carved by a guy named Gustav Borglum, who was in the Ku Klux Klan. So boo! Man, never learn anything. History sucks. History sucks. All there's Klansmen are in it. Here's another dumb thing I used to believe. I used to believe Denver's National Jewish Hospital, right? You know, that's right there on Colfax. I used to believe they only admitted Jewish patients. Right? This one's more reasonable, maybe. I don't know. Right? And I thought, that's good. I'm glad that Denver's small but thriving Jewish community has somewhere to go for their medical needs. But what is a Gentile to do in an emergency? What then? There's no time for the guy to get all the way to Swedish Medical Center. What's he supposed to do? Right? Can you convert in the waiting room? That's what I want to know. Just a guy bleeding out from a stab wound, like, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Then you get treated. That's Hebrew, everybody. Right? But turns out all you need to go to National Jewish Hospital is health insurance. So I still can't go. Still can't go there. I'm doing comedy. I realized that for a godless heathen like me, buying a bag of drugs, and I mean real drugs, not weed, buying a bag of drugs is the only act of faith I ever engage in. Right? I don't believe in God, as we've cleared up, but I have faith that Zane's being honest about whatever's in this little baggie. You can trust good old Zane, right? We all know a Zane. He makes you watch him play Tekken for 15 minutes every time you come over. Because after 15 minutes, the cops won't come anymore. That's all it takes. You know Zane, he's got one long yellow pinky nail on his right hand. Good old goblin nail Zane. He's only doing good things with that goblin nail, I assure you. Just opening letters to Santa Claus for needy kids. Good old Zane. You guys, I think that in the era that we're in now, where men are being held accountable for their terrible behavior, I don't think we would allow a creep like Jerry Lee Lewis to the highest echelons of pop music, right? That guy married his teenaged cousin. That's just true. Yeah, gross, right? He made her see his great balls of fire. That would be wrong. That's wrong. I had to do it. I had to try. I'm sorry. Right? I just think that we wouldn't allow that. We would at least hear splish splash, I was taking a bath in a whole new way. Right? Splish splash, I was taking a bath. And then my 13-year-old cousin jumped in. Ding dang, I called the whole gang. And the story only gets worse from here. Oh man, here's an example of how facts ruin jokes. Jerry Lee Lewis did not write that song. He did not write that song. Bobby Darin wrote it. Bobby Darin, in an age-appropriate marriage to Sandra Dee, they can splish and splash all they like. Right? I don't even know if Jerry Lee Lewis ever performed that song. I just know he was a dirty cousin fucker. All right, you guys. I like to end on dirty cousin fucker. I don't know about you. Are you guys ready to get this show started? All right.